This is Kevin Benedict, SMAC Analyst with Cognizant, reporting live this week from Barcelona, Spain at the Mobile World Congress 2013. And I have the pleasure of spending time this morning with SAP's Vishy Gopalakrishnan, who's the Vice President for the Global Center of Excellence for Mobile Solutions. That's one of many titles you have.
Right.
Yeah, so Vishy, why don't you share with all of us what you're seeing different in 2013 in the mobile space that perhaps is different from what happened in 2012 and 2011? Because you talk to a lot of customers, don't you?
Right. So first of all, Kevin, thanks for the opportunity. Really appreciate you taking the time with us and spending time here with SAP. Just to set some context on where I fit in the SAP organization. So in my role in the mobile solutions team, what I do on a day-to-day basis is work with some of our most strategic customers around the globe, across a variety of industry verticals, helping them understand, A, what can mobile do for their business in terms of actual tangible business impact, whether it's internal efficiencies, productivity gains, revenue generation, customer intimacy, or in terms of customer intimacy, how do I reach out to my customers using the mobile channel? And then within that context, how does the SAP mobile portfolio play into that? And kind of then following from that is how do you then organize as an IT organization to deal with mobile? So like you said, what's happening now in 2013 versus 2012, 2011, obviously, we are at MWC in Barcelona, and I think the most telling thing that you see from MWC, for example, is the incredible focus on enterprise mobility. For those of us who've been coming to MWC over the years, this was very much a device and telco-oriented show. Huge kind of shift in emphasis in terms of focus on enterprise mobility. In terms of what I'm hearing from customers this year versus last year and the year before, is what I call a distinct change in tone with regard to enterprise mobility. I call it enterprise mobility now is becoming a first-class citizen in IT. In years past, even as late as say middle of last year, mobile was something that was somebody did it part-time, never much of a focus, very ad hoc. But I think mobility is now in the mainstream, and so I think more and more organizations, while they're trying to figure out what they do with mobile from a technical standpoint, I think now the emphasis is shifting to more and more around what does it mean for me to build a sustainable mobile strategy? How do I operationalize that? How do I organize around that? How do I put in the appropriate governance around it? What happens when my mobile portfolio consists of not just 3 applications, but maybe 20, 30 applications,
Absolutely.
right? So how do I get the rigor and the discipline that an IT organization has used over the last several decades? How do I bring that into the mobile world, adapting it for the mobile world? So anything and everything from how do I update my software development lifecycle, right? Which may have gone from waterfall to agile. How do I adapt it to the mobile world? How do I become more responsive to what my users need? So that's probably the biggest shift that I see. This is not to say that the technology questions are not top of mind. They are, everything around security, application development, etc. But I think, to me, the bigger shift, or the one to take note of for the community, is that organizations are now serious about mobile. It is on the CIO agenda, and more importantly, it is also potentially on the CMO agenda as well, right? So CMOs are now looking at mobile as a channel to reach out to their customers. And so that's...
And by CMO, you don't mean Chief Mobile Officer, but Chief Marketing.
Thank you for keeping me honest, Chief Marketing Officer, staying away from acronyms that can confuse. Absolutely, because I think I read some studies, I don't have the exact numbers, but I think the typical CMO in an organization has a budget about 12 to 13% of revenue. CIO budgets in general tend to be 3 to 4% of revenue. And with the increasing emphasis on mobile as a channel for organizations to reach their consumers, there's a tremendous demand from the marketing organizations to figure out where does mobile fit? And then so IT organizations have to deal with that demand. And that means that mobile is now elevated to, I would say, the top 3 or 4 priorities for most CIOs.